Symptoms are always going to be TMI. Pregnancy, though it's supposed to be glamorous, or people make it out to be glamorous, is really the furthest thing from being glamorous. And once you have a baby, you'll realize that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In case you missed it, we are expecting baby number 3, and I'm just super excited to share this journey with you guys. If you're interested in all things first trimester, all the gross TMI symptoms, then keep watching. If not, then that's fine too. We'll see you next week on a regular beauty video. But if you are interested in all things baby, then keep watching. This video is for you. I figured weekly updates would just be too boring because not a lot changes from week to week. So I'm just going to do trimester recaps and see how that goes. If you're interested in how we found out, then go ahead and check out my pregnancy announcement video. I cover more of how we found out and basically the 2-week wait period of like before I knew symptoms type of thing. I'll link it above and I'll also link that video below. Okay, if that sounds interesting, then let's jump right in. Okay, symptoms. Bloating. This was the first symptom that popped up. It lasted probably the first couple to few weeks, maybe 2 to 3, maybe even like to week 4. You know, the stomach was super tight. My pants felt really, really tight. You know, I didn't look any different, I don't think. Maybe I looked a little puffy, but even like sleeping on my stomach hurt. The bloat was just really, really, really bad. TMI warning, TMI warning. Just letting everyone know that. Holy nipple pain. I mentioned this before in the pregnancy announcement video, and to be honest, I don't know if this is something I would have related to pregnancy had I not experienced it with the girls in the past, but it was so noticeable and so painful. It was just very obvious. I don't get like breast tenderness or my boobs don't hurt for PMS or anything, so that never happens anyway. It was just really noticeable and very painful. They were just irritated all the time. Okay, speaking of boobs, like whoa. I mean, there's really not much else to say except for, yeah, they're just out of control. Fatigue. Oh, I remember fatigue with the girls was so bad. I don't remember it specifically with Waverly, maybe because I was just running around all the time with Oakley, and I also was drinking coffee with Waverly. Pretty sure I cut out coffee with Oakley, but Waverly I was fine with coffee. This baby does not like coffee at all, and it's painful. I literally am just like, so tired. I'm gonna lump headaches, nausea, and vomiting all together. When I get headaches not being pregnant, it will lead to nausea and vomiting anyway. I started with the nausea and vomiting before I got my BFP, and BFP is like lingo for big fat positive when you pee on your stick. Yeah, it started around 4 weeks before I even knew. Obviously in retrospect I can say that's what it was, but at the time I was getting headaches, I was getting really nauseous, and I was sometimes vomiting, which was unusual, but you know, it just could have been anything else. It could have been a virus, it could have just been a migraine. I'm pretty sure that started around 4 weeks. Week 7, I thought I was gonna die. It definitely, by week 9, it definitely improved. The nausea is what I like can't stand, just like the constant feeling of being seasick no matter what you do. I don't even mind throwing up because I feel like you get relief, but the constant nausea just kills me. Week 9, things started improving. I would love to say that every week it got better, but week 9 was significantly better than like weeks 7 and 8, and then by week 12 it was no more nausea. Let's just say that. So no more nausea, but I do still have frequent vomiting. So gross. Okay, sleeping. I have recently started sleeping okay, but the whole first trimester was just horrible insomnia. I had a couple nights with like that restless leg syndrome. I just am going to the bathroom all the time at night, which is very common. It's just constantly up and up and up and being awake, and combine that with anxiety and hormones. I'm just not sleeping, and I think that's making the fatigue much worse, obviously. Plus, I had in the beginning, the first, I would say till week like 8 or 9, I had this very weird heaviness in my uterus. I know they say like in the beginning your uterus starts getting like firmer, but with the girls later in pregnancy, once my stomach got really big, when I would lay to like one side or the other, the weight on my stomach would feel very uncomfortable and it would like pull. I think that's why I used a pillow and like stuck it under my stomach to like kind of like support your stomach. It almost felt like that. Like usually I sleep on my back and there was like a heaviness pushing down, and then when I would try to sleep on my side, it felt like it was just pulling to one side or the other, and I wasn't even showing and I hadn't gained any weight, but it was just this very odd, like firm feeling, and that did go away probably by 8 or 9 weeks. So I don't know what that was. I don't think it was, I wouldn't say that was bloating, but it was something like my uterus just got like really, like it felt like a cramp. Like my whole uterus just felt like a Charlie horse. It was very odd. I was actually freaking out that I probably was having twins or something because of being so sick so much earlier, and then like that feeling like I just had this huge cramp in my uterus. I started getting a lot of anxiety that I was gonna have like more than one baby. Luckily, it's just one, so there was that peace of mind, but I really did start freaking out because it felt so different. Because it felt so different than when I had the girls. I'm just attributing that to being older and probably just like having my body be all like stretched out already from the 2 girls. So I guess that's just what I'm just gonna pretend like that's why. Okay, TMI, bleeding. I never bled with Oakley, like at all, ever. Waverly, I did have implantation bleeding, which I mistook for a light cycle. So it was about, I would say like 4 days long. This one, I did have implantation spotting. Then I bled every day up until almost that 12-week scan when they went, so almost 12 weeks. So I was bleeding almost every day, sometimes bright red, until approximately 11 to 12 weeks. So what they had said was that was a subchronic hematoma. I cannot say that word for some reason. But anyway, it's basically a pocket of blood that gets stuck between the placenta and your uterus, and then it like drips out or leaks out until it goes away. When I went for my first, I guess, confirmation, dating ultrasound, whatever they call it, they could see a pocket of blood, and that's what they assumed it was. It appeared to go away. I had a lot of extra sonograms to monitor it. I read online it was like 3% of pregnancies, which doesn't seem like a lot, but apparently it happens, and it's not really a huge deal. So, food aversions or cravings. I basically have been off food. I was just turned off by so much stuff that it was really difficult. I mean, it was really difficult anyway to eat because of all of the nausea, but I couldn't even look at meat. Like, I was totally off meat. I was leaning towards a lot of like appetizer-y type of foods. I noticed I was wanting a lot of like cold sandwiches or like peanut butter and jelly, just like light food, like pasta salad. Lots of fruits and vegetables worked. So, I mean, it was healthy choices. I was like forced into healthy choices, I guess. So that's a good thing. But there was really not much that appealed to me at all in the first trimester. What's really weird, and it's kind of laughable because I've never really cared for Mexican food that much, and literally the only thing I have been wanting is Taco Bell. So gross. I've never eaten a Taco Bell. Chris loves Taco Bell. Like, this is probably the highlight of this pregnancy for Chris, because I've eaten Taco Bell like maybe 6 times, and I've never eaten it before in my life. Taco Bell was the most disgusting place I've ever even heard of. Like, I don't like tacos typically. Yeah, we've eaten Taco Bell like 6 times. We went to Chili's and I got tacos. I've been eating Qdoba. I mean, Qdoba's good anyway, but I've been eating Qdoba like a ton. So clearly this baby likes tacos, which is so weird because I don't really like tacos. When I had Waverly, all I wanted to eat was chip beef and gravy. which probably explains a lot. When I had Oakley, all I wanted to eat was those like small microwavable personal pizzas, which I did not like pizza before Oakley. So I guess pregnancy just like opens me up to new like food categories. I don't know. So I'm basically just eating whatever sounds good and not really worrying about it, because babies will just suck whatever they need out of you anyway. So it's not like I need to be eating specific stuff at this point. Just, I feel like healthy choices is good enough, and as long as I'm not malnutrition or whatever, then I think I'm fine. And I don't think I'm malnutrition. My doctors are not worried, so I'm not worried. Weight gain, maternity clothes. I haven't gained, so I say I haven't gained any weight because every time I get on the scale, I weigh the same amount, but I'm pretty convinced that I lost weight and then gained it back, but just happened to put me where I was in the beginning, if that makes sense. Like basically I feel like my fat just like relocated to different areas because I have a different shape now. I definitely have huge boobs and I'm definitely getting a huge stomach, but I weigh the same. So things are just like moving around. I didn't have to wear any maternity clothes in the first trimester. It was going into like June and July, so I wore a lot of dresses anyway, a lot of like swing dresses. I did have to wear jeans a couple times or pants for work, and they were tight, but they were manageable. It wasn't a huge deal. So I haven't actually done maternity clothes in the first trimester. Working out, yeah, that's a hard no right now. I was doing bar before all of the nausea and vomiting hit, and I was doing really good and I was proud of myself. I was trying to get like summer ready. Then I was just like basically survival mode throughout the first trimester. Like I said, the nausea and headaches are mostly gone, so I would like to start working out again. It's hard to get back in the swing of things when you take a break. So must-haves. As far as phone apps, I've been using Baby Center and What to Expect. I downloaded those two apps on my phone. I've been using those, kind of flipping back and forth between the two of them. You know, check in to see like what fruit or vegetable size the baby is every Monday, and I read the boards for fun, but yeah. Okay, I got the cutest pregnancy journal. How cute is that? So cute. From Allie at a shop called AMK Designs off Etsy. It has week-by-week tracking pages because, you know, pregnancy brain. I love that it's spiral bound because they're just so much easier to actually open up and write in than the kind that would have the big thick binding that don't actually open up flat. So that has been so awesome. I love it. I really do love it so much. I know the girls love to look back at their baby books. That's stuff I wrote in there. I'll link her shop in the description link below. She has all kinds of journals, all different prints and patterns, and they are so cute. Okay, anti-nausea. Guys, I looked and looked and looked for a solution, anything to help, and really, unfortunately, nothing helped me. I tried, what did I try? Okay. So one of the first things I tried was this Morning Sickness Relief Sparkling Mama Fizz Elixir, Citrus and Ginger. I got this on Amazon. It was good. You can see I used like, oh, there's a hair tie in there. You can see I used a few, but I didn't even bother to finish it because it wasn't helping at all. I didn't notice anything. They tasted okay, but I didn't notice any relief. I tried ginger candies. I tried just straight up ginger tea. I tried ginger ale, which doesn't actually have ginger in it, I found out, but that didn't help either. I heard lemon helped, so I tried lemon water. That didn't really help. I kept looking for lemon candies, which I think they were called lemon drops, but I kept confusing them with lemon heads, and every time I would go to like the gas station or the store, I would see these lemon heads and I would think they were lemon drops and buy them, and I kept opening them up and then kept being surprised that they were like the sour lemon candies. But I did use these a lot. They definitely helped. They're sour lemon candies and I just sucked on them like all the time, and they definitely helped. I can't even, like, honestly, like, my mouth is watering right now. I can't even look at these because they just remind me of, like, the worst weeks in the beginning. I can just, it's like a bad memory, like when you throw up, like, spaghetti and then you can't eat spaghetti anymore. So I really can't even look at those right now because they make me feel physically ill. But they did help a little bit. Like when your mouth is just like watering, I would stick one in there. I was at one of Wave's friends' birthday parties before we told anyone, and I was so ill. And I was just like eating those, trying to like make myself feel better. So they did help. I can't look at them anymore, but they did help a little bit. I have an allergy to anti-nausea medication. I had what they call dystonic reaction to some anti-nausea medication that I took many years ago. It was very, very traumatizing. I think dystonic reaction kind of explains what happens to your body. Like my body, basically I turned into like a pretzel. Like it was just like locking up and doing like all these weird things. I was like trying to do back bends. It was really bad. So I had to go to the hospital. They said it was like a dystonic reaction to this particular anti-nausea medication. I mean, we were reading the bottle and it was like every single symptom as like a reaction that you could have. It was, my eyes were going back and forth. I was like smacking my lips. I was like sticking my tongue out, like weird stuff. So I'm like, obviously I don't do anti-nausea medication. So I could have tried the anti-nausea medication, probably would have been fine, but because of that, I just chose to like suffer through. Many women get on anti-nausea medication and many women have relief. I just didn't want to. So my doctor said that there was this combination of medications, vitamins, over-the-counter stuff that you could take that would almost act like an anti-nausea medication without being an anti-nausea medication. And a lot of women I've read take this. It's B6 and Unisom. Unisom is a sleep aid. B6 is obviously a vitamin. My problem with that was I went to the pharmacist to buy the B6 and the Unisom, and I won't say what pharmacy it was because this is bad. And she gave me the stuff. My doctor had called it in. She was like, you don't need a prescription, it's all over the counter. She told me what portions to take of each. I went through the store to go shopping. She called me back. She said, oh, I got your portions wrong. She gave me new portions. I was like, okay. So I'm still shopping the grocery store. She went and found me in the grocery store and she said, I gave you your portions wrong. Here's your new portions. Okay, so that was the third time. Then I was in the checkout line, literally checking out, and she came over to me again and was like, I got your portions wrong again. Here's your new portions. Like, cut this pill, take it in the morning, and then cut this pill, and then take it. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm done. Like, obviously there's like a disconnect. Somebody doesn't know what they're doing. I'm not going to be like taking this medication willy-nilly, and because nobody could get their story straight. So I don't know exactly what happened. I was like, I'm not buying this. It's too much. And I just forewent it. So that was my experience with that. I won't say which pharmacy it was, but I decided that it wasn't worth me getting my portions wrong. So I just decided to not do it. Like I said, I got through it. I didn't really like lose I didn't lose any significant weight. I just felt like crap. Other must-haves, SPF. I went through a lot of SPF. My first trimester was in the summer. I didn't want to get the maternity mask, so I got a hat. I used a lot of SPF. That was a must-have. Water bottle, also a must-have. You're supposed to be drinking like a ton of water to stay hydrated, and I did, I noticed that headaches were a lot worse when I didn't drink a lot of water, so I got like one of those canteen water bottles and tried to just drink as much water as possible. It's really difficult, but you really need to do it. Throw up bucket. Yeah, I had a sand bucket that I keep in my car still that I use frequently. I know that's not glamorous or pretty, but it is what it is. And if you are experiencing a ton of vomiting, then keep a bucket in your car because it happens. I have to take my kids to school. I have to go to work. I'm in my car a lot. Maybe if you don't need to be in your car a lot, then you won't need that either, but I definitely used it a lot. Pregnancy pillow. I have not purchased a pregnancy pillow yet, but my kids have those pillow pets, which is like a little square pillow with like an animal head on it, and I've been using those like to jam on the one side or the other for kind of support. Like I said, I don't have like a bump yet, but I did have like this weird uncomfortable feeling, so I kind of just stuck it there in the beginning and it worked totally fine. I mean, pregnancy pillows are awesome. The big, huge ones are so cool, but you know, maybe I'll need one later. But with us having to travel cross country, I'm not going to be able to bring it. And I guess once I get like huge, and if I'm on the West Coast and I need one, I can buy one out there. And I just don't have the space right now. Pregnancy tea. I did get this organic pregnancy tea. Supports a healthy pregnancy. I was drinking this. It has red raspberry leaf. It was pretty good. I was just trying to find something that could replace coffee since I was off coffee. It doesn't have any caffeine or anything, but I just wanted to like drink something warm in the mornings. And it's pretty good. That is it for my first trimester recap. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you like these kind of videos, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to join our family here. And I also post videos on busy mom beauty reviews, hacks, that kind of thing. So if you like those kind of videos, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you again next week. Bye.